Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining me today for our presentation on Coolfront agreements. My name is Derek, and I'm one of the sales and support representatives here at Coolfront Technologies. My contact information here is listed for you to utilize if you are interested in a further conversation after today's discussion. Today we'll be going over the Coolfront Agreements program and why you want to consider a maintenance agreement program. Now, selling agreements is going to be one of the most important steps a contracting business can make towards achieving your success. So some of the benefits that we'll be discussing is increasing cash flow, improved customer loyalty, more work and greater opportunity to sell accessories, and many more things. And it's kind of goes beyond just selling the agreements, right? You want as many of your customers to have that personal relationship. We want to build that relationship between our company and the customers to provide your customers on a reoccurring business. We don't want to just service them once. We want to have that repeat cash flow. So today we'll be opening up the presentation with just a poll here. So the question is, are you currently offer a maintenance agreement plan? So I'll just go ahead and launch that poll. Once you see that show up on your screen, please respond. And we'll just leave this poll open here for a minute or two. Lots of good responses coming in. I'll leave this open for about 20 more seconds as some of the responses still come in here. Looks like the majority of responses so far are yes, you're offering them, but you need to be selling more, followed by offered them at one point, but it kind of fell apart and you're looking to kind of get that back together. So just a few more seconds here, 10 more seconds, we'll close the poll. All right, we'll close it up. All right, good. So like I mentioned, the majority of attendants today are saying that they offer programs, but they should be selling more than what they are. So that'll be a good gauge here on our discussion going forward. So why offer maintenance agreements? A number of options is for your customers, it's going to ensure periodic inspection of their equipment, make sure that we're doing that preventative ahead of time, rather than wait for systems to fall apart. So obviously that's the big benefit for customers. Detecting issues and doing work before larger issues occur, and saving money in the long run by not having to fully replace a system. And then you have somebody to count on, the customer has somebody to count on to contact immediately when issues go awry. So let's take a look at the benefits for you. So it's going to ensure some income during slow periods. What that means is, especially, and we'll talk about in just a moment here, if you're collecting for your agreements program on a monthly basis. I speak to a lot of contractors that have had a lot of success selling monthly. It'll ensure that you have revenue being generated throughout the entire calendar year, not just when systems are breaking, usually in the middle of winter or the high point of summer. It's going to help entrench customers in your services. It's going to be your customers for life. If they're signed up for an agreement, there's not much reason for that customer to call somebody else if they're paying you for your program. It's going to be easier and cost effective to keep your existing customers than it is to continuously try and bring in new customers. Research has shown that it's much more affordable to keep your existing customers and try and consistently bring in new ones. And it is going to help ensure that you'll be compensated accordingly for your services each time. So what type of maintenance agreements? Well, it's going to depend on the type of services that your business offers, but residential, commercial options, monthly, quarterly, or yearly programs, uh, different layers of agreements such as silver, gold, or platinum can also be considered. Um, Different costs that are associated with different options, so the higher the program, the more benefits that you can offer to your customers. Include accurate information as to what customers will receive so that there's no confusion during that selling process. Determine what option for your payment schedules you'd like to have before the completion of the visit, so the customer knows upfront, cash, check, credit card payments. Is there a schedule of payment? Monthly is recommended, and we'll talk about that in just a second here. And do you offer discounts by being a part of the maintenance agreement program? Whether that's going to be veterans, friends and family, senior citizen, etc. So these are some of the questions that we're going to be considering, monthly versus yearly agreements. We're going to consider which one pays up front, which is an easier sell, which is easier to renew, which option is going to be less stressful for your technicians, and which is going to cost less to manage. So let's take a look at some of the results here. With the annual agreement, if somebody's paying for you up front, then obviously you're going to be collecting for that upfront payment. So the customer is going to sign on the annual agreement. You're going to collect that all at once. You deposit that money, and monthly agreements are going to be spread out your cash flow. Now, easier to sell. Now, if you're trying to collect on a maintenance agreement plan, let's just say, for example, if it's $200 for the annual agreement. Well, if you're out on a service call and you've got a $400 repair, is it going to be easier to collect an additional $200 up front, or are you going to collect on a monthly charge, something like maybe $14 or $15 just for that first month? It's going to be easier for you to sell on a monthly basis, especially if you're out doing service calls for a customer that doesn't have an agreement plan for you. Another big part of the entire agreement process is the renewal. So a lot of struggles with the annual agreement is once that contract has expired, now you've got to follow up with customers to get them to renew and get a brand new contract for the following year. Underneath the monthly program, that'll be month to month. It'll never expire. Obviously, the customers would have opportunities, but it would take the burden off your staff of having to renew the agreements. So that's definitely a benefit for the monthly option. For the technicians, it's not going to force your technicians to be salesmen. It's not always easy for the technicians. They typically want to get in there and fix systems. It'll be an easier sell, again, if they're just trying to collect on the first month up front rather than the entire year. And then mailings, phone calls, and other marketing tactics that are used to remind customers is also adds up when you're considering the annual agreement. So some of those additional time and effort spent on renewing the annual agreements, it's going to be more efficient and less, the cost is going to make more sense by taking a look at the monthly agreement options. So we have the next poll here for, do you currently have any system in place? Are you using a system to help you manage those agreements? So let me, just a second here, you'll have the next poll show up. Please respond accordingly. We'll leave this open for about a minute here. Lots of good responses coming in. And we'll go over the details of the Coolfront Agreements program and how that's going to be helping you manage your agreements next. Looks like a good portion are saying that they've got a system in place, but there's always room for improvement. Followed up by next is sort of, it's working, but there's something that can be done. We'll leave this open for about another 10, 15 seconds here. Got a couple more responses coming in. All right, and we'll close up this poll. All right, thank you for your responses. So let's take a look at ways that there might be some room for improving here, the way that the agreement programs are being managed. So Coolfront agreements will help you manage, track, call, and email your agreement customers. It's going to generate reports for you to show you how sales and performance of your staff members are coming in. And it's going to prevent customers from falling through the cracks. So if you're trying to maintain your own system, there was a couple of responses that have still been doing pen and paper, or if you're trying to manage spreadsheets. The idea is to get as many customers as you can, and then we all realize that there's a certain tipping point that so many customers become difficult to manage. So the agreements program itself is a cloud-based system you can access from any computer. It's going to manage your customers, so all your customer information, any notes, addresses, things of that nature will be stored inside the system. It's going to do an automatic phone call and an email to your customers, first reminding them to call your office to schedule their preventative maintenance. Once the appointment, they've called that office and they've scheduled the appointment, that system will also do a phone call and email reminder. Mr. and Mrs. Customer, we're showing up tomorrow at this time frame, to remind the customer. And then also, once they have been marked as a completed job, then it will send a thank you email after the work has been completed. And that completes the entire process is automated to make sure that none of that contact is left out. And you do have the ability to suppress phone calls and emails if you have certain customers that are particular, or if they don't have an email, it'll just do the phone calls, things of that nature. The agreements program also has some marketing materials that are available. They're electronic PDFs that you can modify with your own company details and bullet points, and it allows you to print those off at your local printer and give to the technicians to help increase sales. So this is kind of what we mentioned here, the cloud-based program. So through the coolfront.com website, you would log into your account. You can customize the messaging, so that might be a question on your mind. The phone call and email, it's a live recorded message, a real person that we provide for your business. You can customize it, and if there's someone in your office that would like to record their own message to help maybe personalize that, that would be available as well. You can edit the email message, so you can use the template that we provide, or you can make edits to it. That marketing materials library that I mentioned that you can customize, and then we don't charge any extra for training or support of the particular program itself. So it's going to help you sell easily and professionally present your agreement program, track sales in the field, market to non-agreement customers, and boost agreement sales itself. Tracking, so you'll know exactly how many customers need maintenance visits. It's going to tell you tentatively who's scheduled for appointments. You can make adjustments on the tentative schedule, but you'll know who still needs to be contacted. If a customer does not respond, then it will give you information on those that would need to be manually followed up on as well. It's going to automatically remind your customers when their maintenance is due. So it's going to help you schedule those appointments. And it will prompt your customers to call you rather than you putting forth multiple efforts on calling them and making sure that you're not forgetting anyone. There's an option for collecting. You can sign up for payment processing to accept credit cards or bank cards. Easily connect and auto collect monthly, annually, or collect on per transaction. Reporting, so whether you want a list of reports for those that just have an agreement, customers can be stored in the system. If they call and cancel, or if they choose not to renew their program, it will keep track. The system will store details for all customers. Renewing, to set up customers as perpetual and keep them as long as you can. Quickly identify customers needing renewal long before they become due. So contractors have found that their agreement sales have increased by 40% or more through Coolfront agreements. And we do also offer additional services. So our Coolfront mobile platform would allow you to create digital work orders. On those digital work orders, there would be a soft sell message. So that would be for your service calls. There would be a message that says you can save X amount of dollars by signing up for a maintenance agreement plan. That particular option, schedule, dispatch, there's flat rate pricing involved to help you price your service work. It integrates with QuickBooks to send the information into that, your accounting software. You can get 50 trial work orders of Coolfront Mobile, which is available through the Coolfront website, and unlimited training and support is available for the mobile option as well. We also want to make sure that you're aware of Coolfront books. If you're just looking for the flat rate pricing guides, you just want a list of repairs, that is available as well. Ability to update pricing as often as 90 days through the books program, and free updates and unlimited training and support as well for books. So if anyone is interested in a live demonstration of the agreements program itself, you can feel free to use my contact information here, derek@coolfront.com, or my phone number listed. You can also call into our general line to speak with another representative for additional help. Also point out blog.coolfront.com also has great materials and assisting you with your agreements program. The Coolfront agreements option can be signed up for through coolfront.com by selecting our agreements option. There's an order now button for additional details. I do encourage you, if you want the live look at what the program looks like, to call us or reach out to us. We'd be happy to set up a live demonstration for you. The pricing information. So the base price of Coolfront agreements itself is $109 per month. It's going to give you the access to the scheduling information. So it'll maintain all the reports, all the marketing materials. We keep track of those customers that have agreements and those that do not. And there's also an additional 55 cents per month for active agreement customers. So if you have 100 active agreement customers at 55 cents a month, that's $55 plus the base price of $109 per month. That's going to total $164 per month if you had 100 active agreements. There's no additional fees for the training and support that we mentioned. And at this point, what we'll take a look at is any additional questions. You will be receiving a recording of this session that you attended today, and all the information that would be provided for you in case you were taking notes or had any additional questions. There is a poll or an option for questions in this particular chat window. Let me just take a look. I do have an opportunity to answer a few questions if anyone would like to ask any specifics. Doesn't look like I have any coming in, so I hope that I answered all your questions in today's presentation. But again, if you need to, just feel free to give us a phone call, chat with us on our website, coolfront.com. We'd be happy to answer any of your additional questions. I appreciate everyone's time today, and I hope you all have a great afternoon. Bye-bye now.